Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm just gonna quickly show you the setup that I have for the subwoofer I made. Very cheap subwoofer that I made that is doing its job fairly fine with this small room that I have. Somebody DM me in my Instagram and asked for a little bit more details, so here's that video. And I hope this helps to show that you must have fun with this hobby. Yeah, might not be the best sounding one, but it's definitely not sounding bad, and it was done very cheaply. So let me show you real quick. So as you can see right here, this is the subwoofer that I'm running on my home theater. It looks goofy, yeah, maybe. I'll argue it just looks weird, and in a way maybe I'm biased, it looks creative. But as you can see right there, it does have a port that I attached to it. You know, regular tools that every man should have is what you're gonna need for this. Bucket from Lowe's that I stole from my brother, but if I were to buy it, it's like maybe $3, $4, maybe $5. And then the driver is a cheap subwoofer driver that I found in Walmart. It's supposed to be rated for like 1200 watts or something like that. But what I've noticed is that because this was originally meant for a vehicle rather than home theater, it tends to reproduce higher frequencies, which can make it sound a little bit harsh and can definitely affect the quality of your audio. So what I did is very simple. I find out that with this driver, 12-inch driver, fits perfectly on a bucket like this. In this case from Lowe's, not sponsored, but if they want to, go ahead. So first, it didn't have this port, and it was running directly from another amplifier that I have for 2000 watts. But once again, it was, some higher frequencies were a little bit noticeable, enough that I could catch them. I'm sure somebody with an untrained ear would not even pay attention to it. But what I did, like I said, is 12-inch. I put like a rubber in between the bucket and it's like a foam that you can use to seal ACs. So I put it between the bucket and the driver, and then as you can see, I just used construction screws to screw it all around, and it's holding really tight. Like, it doesn't move, it doesn't rattle, it doesn't create any type of problem. Now, of course, as some of you already know, when you have a seal enclosure, which was exactly what this was, then your volume goes down for the sake of more accuracy. Since this is such a budget friendly, I figured like it wasn't giving me much of a benefit. So that's why I decided to just grab my tools, just make a 2-inch diameter hole, and then just glue this port into the bucket. And you might be wondering where you got the port. Yes, you can buy it. It's like maybe $15-$30. But when I was thinking about adding the port, I remembered that I had a blown 150 watt 8-inch subwoofer laying around, but what was blown was actually the driver and not the amplifier. And subwoofer amplifiers, they're built in a way that they can actually filter any frequency that shouldn't be going through your driver. So it's very simple. I took out the blown driver. I plugged in my cheap subwoofer that I made with that port. I did the installation of the port, and then I run this through AVR like a regular subwoofer. It even has the standby feature, as you can see there. So when I start playing something, it turns on and start playing, and it's making a good job at doing so. And I'm just gonna show you how it works in a bit. But this is just to show you, like, this, I got it for free. The bucket, I stole it from my brother. The driver was like, I believe it was maybe like $60, and the port was for free as well. So honestly, this entire bill is $60-$70, 150 watts. It creates more than enough for such a small room that I have here, and I'm sure y'all have seen it before. So I'm gonna play through the AVR the sound, and of course it's very hard to actually tell how a driver sounds, but it would just give you an idea and show you that it works. All right, so I put the AVR in reference level volume, and I have it running. Yeah, it's a little bit dirty, don't pay attention to it. it is playing. You can see it is playing. It is vibrating. And this whole room is shaking out of this cheap, very cheap build subwoofer. I did put some insulation material on the inside just to kind of avoid the reflections. But this, you'll notice that I have that blanket at the bottom. It's because the bucket is so thin. If I just put it directly on the floor, it's gonna vibrate too much and create distortion. I could probably get by just putting the rubber feet on them, and I'm sure it's gonna work. But for now, this is just, once again, it's such a cheap build that even what's standing on top of it's recycled. And once again, you can see this thing is working. You can see you can feel some air actually coming out the port. You don't hear any type of distortion. And if you hear something, it's actually that my lamp is vibrating and creating some noise. So once again, folks, this is as cheap as it gets, and it works fine. It can pressurize my room, and I do have the shakers helping with the feeling when you're sitting. But still, for the price that I built this thing for, you really can't beat it. All right, guys, so there you have it, a very cheap subwoofer. If anybody wants the actual instructions, although I think it's a very straightforward process, I can do that. I can take it apart and just show it to you, and maybe we can improve something. Who knows? But I just want to quickly show this for the guy that texted me on IG and asked for a more detailed video. And like I said, yeah, we are privileged enough to live in a great country as the United States, and of course some other good economy countries that you can, easily afford $100, $200, $500, $600, $1,200, $2,000 subwoofer. But I know and I understand not everybody is in the same position. So once again, this is a very cheap way to do it, and it works. So if you like this type of content, like, share, and please subscribe to the channel. It'll help me a lot. And I'll see you in the next one.